Our YouTube, we're back, of course, talking some FF7 Rebirth, and we have more award shows, apparently, in 2025 for 2024 related shit. Famitsu announced their Dengeki Game Awards, which is happening on March 15th, and Rebirth, of course, is nominated for a lot of stuff, but the main thing that people are talking about is that Tifa was actually nominated for the best character. And I say that with just, like, the tiniest bit of confusion, because I do think Tifa's a great character, right? You guys know I love me some Tifa. I think she was a great character in Remake. I think she's even better in Rebirth. Has some great, emotional moments with the live stream sequence and with Cloud and stuff like in Gengaga and whatever, and the date scene and all that shit. All fantastic stuff. I don't know that I'd still put her as, like, the best character in Rebirth. I'd still say it goes to probably Cloud, and I'm specifically talking about, like, the English voice acting side of stuff, right? And that's me putting my bias aside, because if my bias is in there, I'm talking Zach or Barrett, right? That's who I would probably pick. And putting those aside, I would say it's Cloud. And I think Cody's portrayal of Cloud, I'm assuming it's equally as good, if not better, in Japanese, right? Like, Cloud's character gets to run the full range of everything from, like, happy, sad, mad, a badass, crazy when he gets manipulated by, Sephiroth and the Black Materia. Like, you get a lot from the character of Cloud, and Cloud is the main character. That's my personal thoughts on it. At the end of the day, it's a W for all of us, because it is a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth character being nominated for Best Character, so I'm not complaining. I just don't think I'd personally put Tifa as the best character in Rebirth. We get a bit of clarification on this nomination from Genki, where he tweeted out saying, Tifa and Astrobot have been nominated for Best Character at the Famitsu Dengeki Game Awards. The award is given to the game character who has been active and especially captivated game fans. I say clarification, but I don't know what the hell that means. Like, what does it mean for a game character to be active? I have no idea. He does also say that it's, a character that especially captivated fans, so I guess we're gooning at the Game Awards, because, Tifa's a great character, but let's be honest, she's an attractive character. And if we're talking about, Tifa in her swimsuit in, Costa del Sol, then yeah, goddamn, give her the award. He captivated the fuck out of me in that chapter. Mostly in terms of the nomination, I do wonder if it's not like a fan-voted thing, just because Famitsu is a gaming magazine. I think most of the shit is like reader and fan-voted, right? And looking back with like the 2023 Famitsu Dengeki Awards, it was like a fan-voted thing over the course of like a month, right? So I wonder if they didn't come to the readers or just in general, like put a poll out there or something like, hey, we want, FF7 Rebirth character nominated for Best Character. Here's Cloud, Tifa, Sephiroth or something. And if the fans didn't just vote Tifa. That's something you guys can let me know, because I obviously have no idea. This is a Japanese magazine game awards shit, so I have no idea about it. I don't know if it's like a user-voted thing. But even putting aside the nominations themselves, if it is fan-voted on who gets these awards, that pretty much undermines the awards themselves. Unless it's like maybe relegated to subscribers to Famitsu, because then obviously you got to pay some money to vote. So those votes do matter a little bit more. And actually looking at the Famitsu article, auto-translated of course, it does specify voting by game fans. And since it is fan-voted, this would kind of be the ultimate test for Tifa fans, because she's going up against Astrobot and like a character from Rise of Ronin who gives a shit. But Astrobot obviously won a ton of awards last year, right? It was like the #1 game last year. Generally, when you put Tifa in a voting poll, whether that's in Japan or kind of anywhere else, she usually wins it. She usually kind of wins by a landslide. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if the Tifa fans show out for this particular voting. Oddly enough, when it comes to their Game of the Year category, Astrobot's not there, which I'm not sure why that is. Again, if it's like a fan-voted thing for what's nominated or not. But it's kind of strange that as good as Astrobot did last year, it's not in their Game of the Year category. As for all the nominations from this award show for Rebirth, it's pretty much all the categories you'd expect, and some that I feel like it should be that it's not. Like we've seen with the Game Awards, I believe, where it's not nominated for like action or like action RPG or something like that, even though it literally is. It's also not nominated, I guess, for the adventure category, even though it's quite literally you going on an adventure across an entire goddamn planet. It doesn't qualify, I guess. As for the actual nominations, we do have Game of the Year, which Square Enix has 2 games here with Dragon Quest III and also Rebirth. Best Game Developer / Studio, which of course is the Rebirth development team. Scenario category. Graphics category, of course. Music category, which isn't going to be even close because, of course, Rebirth is going to win this. Voice actor category, which is for the Japanese voice actor for Aerith. The character category, of course, which we've already talked about in this video, which is Tifa. And last but not least, of course, we have the RPG category, which is either going to be Rebirth or Metaphor. Square Enix does have some other nominations, like the online category, which is for Final Fantasy XIV, of course. And then the adventure category has Life is Strange, whatever the new one is, I guess, which, I guess. This award show will be happening on the 15th, less than 2 weeks from now. And it'll be live streamed on YouTube, so you can actually watch it. Maybe other platforms too, I'm not sure, which I'll have that all linked in the description, of course. We'll keep our eyes on it for sure, just to kind of see what happens with like the voting and shit and see if Tifa wins or not. But I personally don't give a shit about award shows. I've said this before in the past. I don't really care. Like, I only care for like the dev's sake, because obviously they put all the effort into making the games. I'm sure they want the awards and shit. So for their sake, I give a shit. And, I want the, Final Fantasy franchise and Square Enix in general to be awarded and stuff like that. But I don't personally give a shit whether or not, Rebirth wins Game of the Year or whatever. And actually the most passionate I've been about it was last year, and that was only because Erdtree was nominated. That was really my biggest gripe with the, Game Awards or whatever, was having this like DLC expansion, whatever, for a 2-year-old game being nominated for Game of the Year, like I just felt like that was dumb as hell. But of course, pass up to you guys. What are your thoughts on this award show, the categories, whatever? What are your thoughts on Tifa being nominated as the best character from Rebirth? I guess. Would you agree with that? Would you nominate a different character? What are your thoughts on that? Again, Tifa fans, don't attack me. I love me some Tifa. I'm counting down the days to Under the Highwind. Best video, subscribe channel if you guys are new, so networks in the description below. If I'm into dash-davidYT, that's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Low Gain or leave it like Oprah.